I am very fortunate to have been born in a country like America. I am free to do whatever I want, basically, if it's not against the law, of course, and I have so many resources at my disposal. I am lucky that I live in a safe neighborhood, have a roof over my head, and clean water to drink. But imagine if you woke up one morning to take your daily shower, and during your shower, you took a couple sips out of the faucet, like you always do, and got extremely sick with lead poisoning. Or imagine taking your child to the doctor to find out that you have been bathing your infant child in lead contaminated water. It seems like this would only happen in a third world country and could never happen right here in America because the government wouldn't allow this to go on, right? Wrong. The country is allowing Flint, Michigan to have contaminated water, and not that much help is being provided by our own government, who is supposed to keep its citizens safe. The people of Flint, Michigan are going through a crisis, and it has been happening for months now. Their drinking water that once came from Lake Huron and the Detroit River, that was treated at a water treatment plant, has now been changed to the Flint River, where officials have failed to put up corrosion inhibitors. The Flint River not having any corrosion inhibitors caused lead from the pipes to contaminate the water, causing a public health disaster. This issue started in April of 2014 and it is still going on, which I find a little disturbing. Between 6,000 and 12,000 children in Flint have now been exposed to this toxic water, and many are experiencing many serious life-threatening health problems now because of it. On January 5th of this year, the governor of Michigan declared a state of emergency shortly after the president declared it a federal state of emergency, authorizing Homeland Security and the Federal Emergency Management Agency to take action. The sad truth about this issue is that many state officials knew about the problem but did nothing before it happened. The city was given money to help resolve the issue, and bottled drinking water is being brought in daily, but that's about it. The city's water supply was changed from Lake Huron and the Detroit River to the Flint River in order for the state to save money, but it ended up causing thousands of people to become exposed to toxic water that can be categorized as toxic hazardous waste, actually, by scientists. Usually, toxic waste has to be brought in big metal containers, and people have to wear masks and suits, and this is coming out of people's faucets, and it's very, very concerning. The United States government needs to step up and put a better plan into action. There needs to be steps taken for people to have clean water again in Flint, and it needs to be happening immediately. As far as I am concerned, the government is not doing enough. They need to replace all of the pipes used for transferring the toxic wastewater and go back to the clean source that they had been taking from the water from before, like Lake Huron and the Detroit River. Even researching the issue on the internet, trying to figure out exactly what our government was doing to help, was difficult. I couldn't really even find that much information on the subject. I find that also disturbing, and more needs to be done than telling people to boil their water, which was a statement the officials of Michigan put out shortly after the beginning of the crisis. Some think that the crisis was all some big mistake that went catastrophic, and that the officials in charge of the water didn't know that it was going to be as bad as it was. Well, if that's the case, then why are these people in charge of a resource as precious as drinking water that many people will be bathing themselves as well as their children in? Officials responsible for the crisis told citizens that they were putting chlorine into the drinking water shortly after the crisis became known, but then that was found to even magnify the severity of the toxicity levels in the water. The governor of Michigan, Rick Snyder, even signed a bill giving funds out to help the severity of the damage and to give money back to the sick. But he is one of the officials that allowed the water to be pumped into homes, knowing that there was a chance that it wasn't safe. So the bottom line here is that there are bad people in this country that will do anything for a quick buck or to save money, but our government is supposed to protect us from those people. If something goes wrong in our own country and not that much help goes out to the ones in need, how are we supposed to feel safe as US citizens? Our government should be more worried about the citizens who make up the country and their safety right here in our backyard than anywhere else, as far as I'm concerned. The Flint, Michigan water crisis is very alarming and devastating for the families affected, and the United States government has the power to be more helpful than they are being at the moment. They need to step up and help the people who are sick and step up and help the people who make up the country. Thank you.